Miss Baines, we can't.
Sorry about that. Hi, everyone. So we were here live on Facebook with the Expressive leaders. And what you'll see today is this is our cohort of leaders ages 9 to 17 who are working to use their voice to change the world in their community. And so over the last 6 months, they've been working closely with a mentor to enact a project that, again, is using their public speaking skills, because that's what we're all about, and using their confidence to be able to enact that project. So everybody who you'll see here today has been working on this project. People are at different points in time in their project. So you'll see some that are finished, some that are ongoing, but hopefully you feel inspired here today by what the students are doing in their world. These are students from all over the Bay Area as well. Oakland, San Pablo, Vallejo, American Canyon. So enjoy for the next 30 to 40 minutes or so. So we will get started first with our first expressive leader, Kayla.
All right, hi everyone, my name is Kayla and my project was carrying out a storytelling mini course. So, sorry, I don't know.
Hold on.
Okay, so I wanted to carry out a mini course around storytelling, and the purpose around that for me was I've been involved with different organizations in my community about advocacy, specifically advocating for different youth services in our community. But I've realized like a lot of my peers and a lot of my friends like kind of avoid these opportunities because of the fear of their story, like, just kind of not being listened to, not being like appreciated for it. So I wanted to create this safe space where youth could come and learn techniques and format and just kind of get more comfortable with public speaking. So my process, the first couple of months of my project, I was just kind of reaching out to community members and trying to figure out where it is that I wanted to carry out my project. And my original plan was I was going to carry out my project at a middle school in my school district, but that didn't exactly work out just because I realized it would take a lot of work to like get connections and get permission from faculty to carry it out at middle school. So I actually got connected with a another nonprofit in my community, which is called Rise, which I've worked with before. They've really good at providing services and creating safe spaces for youth to express themselves. So I kind of wanted to add on to that with this project. But obviously, because of shelter in place, I had to move my project into an online format. So that was the next step in my process, which was making curriculum that I could carry out in this online mini course. So that was my second step. And that was a pretty difficult step just because I had to figure out what exactly it was that I wanted to cover. And that's when I decided I wanted to focus mainly on storytelling because I didn't have much time to carry out my course. So it was over 1 week and it was an hour for 3 days in a week. And then on the last day, we got to present our speeches. So I just had to figure out what was most important for me to cover. And then the last step was listening to sessions, which was another growing step for myself. And I think the biggest step in like being a leader in this project and being comfortable and courageous enough to carry out these sessions, which was a learning experience for Belen. So it was a really cool experience. It was definitely nerve-wracking, but it was a really good experience. And I hope to do something like this again in the future. So these are just some examples of what I shared in the course. I shared some like elements just so people could, or the people who attended could kind of get just a little like the very basic knowledge of what storytelling entails. So just learning how to build on a theme and relay everything back to an audience, and also to have confidence in your own story, which has been kind of the most difficult part for myself. So I definitely wanted to have this included in my storytelling course. And then this is the format that we to universal application. So again, describing our own experience and like our own memory, connecting it back to something that everyone can relate to, and then reflecting all about that experience for us and how that applies and how can other people apply that lesson to their own lives. And then we also learned how to map up our own stories, so being very descriptive and again, ending with a reflection. So some highlights. One of the biggest highlights was for me, at least, getting to do life maps, which there's kind of an example off the internet at the very bottom right, which is kind of just outlining key events throughout our lives. And that's how we figured out what stories we were going to be telling in the course, and just getting to hear like from just a very short outline what people valued in their life was very interesting. And I think we got to learn a lot about each other through that. Okay. And then next steps for me, I really enjoyed the workshop. I think definitely we were thrown a couple of obstacles with the whole self-quarantine and having to adjust to that. But yeah, next steps. If I carry out more workshop, which I'm definitely interested in doing, I would want to center it more around self-advocacy, because this is a very like basic intro to storytelling. So in the next steps, I would want to focus on how to tell stories in order to advocate for certain changes in our community. So yeah, and I hope to do that in the future. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Kayla. Just a little round of applause. While Belen gets set up, you can start sharing your screen, Belen. I'm just going to tell you a little bit. If you've just tuned in, we are the Practice Space, an organization that helps build confidence and communication skill development to help people lift up underrepresented voices. And we just heard from Kayla, who's a senior, a graduating senior from Middle College High School, about a project that she did to create a storytelling course to help people have their voice. Next, we're going to hear from Belen Islas, who's from San Pablo. She's 12 years old, and she is also setting up a course to help people find their voice. So Belen, take it away.
Hi, I hope everyone is healthy and safe. My name is Belen Islas. I am 12 years old and I am from San Pablo. My topic is public speaking for middle school students, and my project is called Writing in Motion. I was inspired by the everyday struggles my classmates and I have faced on our school presentation over the years. For instance, there was this time where my team of 4 had a group presentation and everyone had to say a part, but my 3 teammates got stage fright and couldn't do it. I did it because we worked so hard to get our project done, but I was also very nervous. My hands were shaking and I had butterflies in my stomach. Realizing the importance of public speaking in my life, I continued practicing and looking for ways to better my speech. That is when I found out about the Practice Space Center. In the Practice Space, they helped me find my voice. They helped us become true leaders to inspire our lives and the lives of others in our communities. That is when Writing in Motion was born, aka WIM. Writing in Motion is a writing, art, and public speaking club at school, a place to show our ideas, feelings, and talents throughout engaging activities. We met once a week during lunchtime. We would warm up our voices and minds by sharing how we felt and thoughts and concerns about home, school, and world issues. We did the activities planned for the day, such as acrostic poems, creative writing, and poster making. We cleaned up and hanged up our work on our WIM wall, such as the one displayed at the bottom of the screen. To the right, there is a picture of our WIM meeting. Moving forward in my education, I am going to continue taking courses and classes to continue learning and practicing public speaking. I will continue my club next school year. I will improve it by using the knowledge and experience I have acquired, and I will expand it by reaching out to students who can benefit from finding their voice. At the bottom, there is a picture of from the Practice Space website that shows the ways the center encourages learning on students. And to the right, there is a picture of teacher and researcher Anne-Marie Baines, the director of the Practice Space. To end my presentation, I would like to finish with a quote by Darish Mohan. Public speaking is the art of giving power to words, to influence, inspire, and transform lives. Thank you.
Excellent. A big round of applause for Belen. So as we get set up for our next presenter, Mistura, why don't anyone who's listening out there on Facebook, if you can type in a few comments to Belen and or to Kayla, I'm sure they would really appreciate it. For Belen, maybe if you type in something about what public speaking means to you and why it's important to have a voice. Or for Kayla, why it's important to tell stories. I'm sure they would really appreciate the engagement. Again, if you're just joining in, we're the practice space, and this is the Expressive Leaders program for students who want to use their voice to help out their community in any way that they see fit. So we're going to go next to Mistura, who's a student from Vallejo, who actually did a media-based project. So she's trying to incorporate more conversations, but I won't steal her thunder. Mistura, why don't you take it away?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Mistura Bankole. I am a freshman at Vallejo, California, and I am 14 years old. My project was Generation to Generation TV. What is G2G TV? Generation to Generation TV is a YouTube channel I created in order to start the conversation that we are either unaware of or turned a blind eye to between the older and younger generation. The show consists of different generations coming onto the channel to talk and voice their opinions about a specific topic affecting our everyday life, a topic of my choosing. The point of it all is to basically get them talking about these things to see how both sides feel about it. Purpose. I created G2G TV for the younger and older generations to share viewpoints on social justice and new upcoming events affecting our society today. G2G TV aims for the older individuals in society to be understood and for the younger to be heard. What I mean by that is nowadays there's this misconnect where the younger generations feel as if their opinions are overlooked or aren't valued, and the older generation feel as if the younger generation tends to not look at their side of things because they believe that their opinions are either outdated or old school. I also created Generation to Generation TV to break the barrier that has kept our generations from having the conversations that could change today's world. Through time and time, there has been a disconnect from millennials or the older generation about it's time for you, and I believe that it's time for unity. So we can have conversations that could change today's world, and so both sides start seeing things from different perspectives and different point of views. Challenges. It was kind of difficult imagining my project coming to life since it was my first time doing this type of thing. And kind of, I struggled with how I was going to get people to come on the show, considering the fact that I wasn't targeting a specific age group. The point of GTG TV was to get different age groups to interact. Two, I first saw the pandemic as an obstacle that I could not overcome whatsoever. But that if there's one thing I've learned in life, it's that giving up isn't an option. So I basically thought, why don't I do an episode inspired by the pandemic? So I now have two videos uploaded, one featuring the pandemic and two, one the second video basically talking about the protests that have stormed our nation and how different generations feel about it. That being said, here's a sneak peek about what my channel looks like. how you can support me. First, you can start by following our Instagram at Generation to Generation TV and subscribing to my channel at G2G TV. And to go the extra mile in supporting us, every week before we post a new video, we usually do kind of a questionnaire type thing on our Instagram where we ask if anybody wants to be featured on the show. Therefore, we will DM you with a list of the questions and whatnot, and you just send your video in and then it's featured on our YouTube channel. That being said, to end it all, I want to end it all with a challenge. I challenge you all to have a conversation with someone with at least a 10-year age difference from you about something that's happening in today's world, whether it be the pandemic or the protests, just something to kind of start the conversation. Thank you all, and I hope you all stay home and stay safe.
Thank you, Mistura. That was great. So if you are on Facebook watching and you'd like to comment in the Facebook comments, if you are planning to follow Mistura, I think it would be fun to type into the comments, I'm going to follow your Instagram, Mistura, or even type in a topic that you think she should feature on her show. So if you're just joining us, this program allows students to come up with any project that they want. We've already seen quite a range here today between, a YouTube channel to different programs in middle school and to the community about storytelling. And so the students worked very closely with a college mentor to identify a problem that they saw in the world and then figure out a small project that they can get started in their community to create some change. So next we have a student, Mel, who is a born storyteller and loves stories, but I won't steal his thunder around that. And he's going to be presenting his project. So he's from American Canyon. All right, Mel, you can take it away. Oh, Mel, sorry, you're muted.
Hello, my name is Melchizedek Muddavanha, and when I started speech and debate, I was automatically attracted to storytelling. It was one of my favorite things to do, and to me, when I love telling people stories from my life and then hearing stories from their lives. And exchanging stories is like giving a piece of yourself to everyone that is listening. I also decided to incorporate cooking into this because it's a long-time hobby of mine. And with that, I decided to start Tasteful Stories. Tasteful Stories is a video series of me cooking and telling stories inspired by videos sent from viewers. My video is gonna be helping people to think about their interests and to get people to communicate better and encourage people to share various life stories. A website I'm gonna be using is called Flipgrid. The way you use this is when you open my link and use my code by pressing enter Flipgrid code. Which is Muddavanha 4724. You can send videos by pressing the check mark next to by pressing the plus button next to my name. And this is the story, and this is a story that I'm gonna be uploading very soon. It's called Shepherd's Pie, and I would like to share it with you. So, when I was about 10, my mom took me down to LA, and it was my birthday. So my auntie, knowing that I loved cooking, decided to get me 2 cookbooks, a apron, and some cooking utensils. It was so fun. And she said I can even cook my own dish for the whole family. So I did. I looked through the book, and then I found the dish I wanted to cook. It was called shepherd's pie. Now, she took me to the store and I bought the ingredients, and I got back to her house, and then we started cooking. But it wasn't easy. Took a long time. I thought I would mess up a lot, but I did it and I made the dish. Um, to me, this is just not cooking. It's a way for people to express their feelings about cooking, well, telling stories and cooking. And when people are cooking and eating, they let their guard down and they start to express their feelings more openly. So with all that, I would like to say thank you and have a nice day.
Thank you, Mel. So for those of you who are on Facebook and can comment, type a little message to Mel. What is your favorite food? What is your favorite dish? So type that in there. What's your favorite food? What should he feature? Personally, it's hard to decide. So please put that in there. And now we will go to our final presenter, a student from Oakland, California, Cole, who's been part of the practice space for now going into his 4th summer. And so Cole saw a change that he wanted to make in his middle school as he moved into high school, because he's now just finishing up his 9th grade year. So take it away, Cole.
My name is Cole Guimaraes, and my idea is to create a speech and debate club at my middle school. And the reason for this is I had a lot of friends at the school. It was a very small and compact school, and you kind of had to know everybody. And when I graduated, which was 2 years ago, I realized, no, a year ago, I realized that whenever I tried to pick up my sister, who's at the middle school now, everyone treated me like a complete stranger, even though we've shared a ton of memories together and we've spent 2, even 3 years together. So this is when I realized that everyone at the school was extremely shy, or most at least, was extremely shy, and even when I said hello, they didn't respond, and some of the smaller kids just ran away. So this is, and for me, speech and debate was a way for me to find courage and to find my voice, and I want to bring it to my middle school. My target is to teach the kids at my previous middle school about speech and debate, to have the older kids know the rules and be able to participate in multiple types of debate and speech, including, but not limited to, parliamentary and Lincoln Douglas, and then things like OI and storytelling. And also have the younger kids be confident in their ability to talk in front of people they don't know and crowds of people. The help that I need currently, because I'm not currently, this is going to be implemented next year, is really designing a demo day. So during that, I'm going to, because there's a lot of assemblies, and during that there's a stage that is put out in the play area. I'm going to speak and sort of pitch my idea out to everyone at the school. So some ideas for the drills in the club are things like tongue twisters, flub drills, spontaneous speeches, mock debates, and just warm up and some vocal warm up games. Next steps for me would be sending an email to the principal. That's currently in progress. I have a couple drafts done, and I'm going to send that soon. I have to make a lot of lesson plans and, again, create some sort of sales pitch at an event at the academy. The foreseeable future. This slide's really about what will happen regardless of the situation with COVID-19. So this will take place. The club will take place next year, regardless of COVID-19, and it's just going to move into a digital platform, most likely Zoom. And also, I hope to join with my sister to make a larger club from things ranging from STEM to debate. So everyone, thank you. Have a nice day. Stay healthy.
Okay, excellent. Thank you, Cole. Round of applause. So as you could see, so actually first, if you are on Facebook and you want to type in the comments, type in a note of support to Cole. He's just at the start of his project, and especially with COVID-19, sometimes it can be hard to change your programs to an online setting. And so just a note of encouragement for Cole or any of the other expressive leaders that you see here. So we're just approaching the end of our first session, but just out of curiosity, just to kind of finish us off, you know, if any of the expressive leaders have a final note of what leadership means to you, please say it now. So Kayla or Cole or Belen, what does leadership mean to you? Yeah, Mel.
Leadership to me is well, it's not exactly leading, it's you taking people's advice, you listening to others, you not just doing it for not just doing it for yourself, you're doing it for everyone. You're not thinking for yourself, you're thinking for the whole group. That's what leadership is.
Excellent. Thank you, Mel. How about others? What does leadership mean to you?
Leadership to me means teaching and really showing people what is right, what is wrong, and really showing them like how the world works.
Excellent. How about any others?
Leadership is when you take someone's ideas and make it better. You make it your own, but you also incorporate their idea so they don't feel left out.
Nice. Mistura.
Leadership is being able to accept that you too can make mistakes, and while leading, it's also a learning experience for you.
Great. Kayla, how about you?
Leadership for me is being able to be a voice for your community, and especially like me going into college, I know like I won't see as many people or know as many people who like have experienced the same things I have, so just care with me, and especially like making like the voice and the experience of people of color known even in primarily white institutions.
Well, and I think it's really important now, more than ever, just to be able to get that diversity and that equity. I know a lot of the students we have in our program have been talking about that for a long time. Yes, we really appreciate all of your viewpoints, all of the projects that you guys are doing in the world. If you just came in at the end, I think the comments are pretty full, and so I'm just getting some of those in. So just as we wait for those, another question for you guys: what was the hardest part about switching your project over in the pandemic? Because we started this in November. So what was the hardest part? Yeah, Mistura.
For me, weirdly enough, I saw the pandemic in a way as a blessing because I was kind of struggling with getting people from different generations to come onto the show. But then when it's just like all you have to do is record your viewpoints and talk into that, it made it easier for me to kind of get people to want to be in the video because now you're not technically having to like come somewhere or like you know what I mean? So people kind of were more interested in doing it since it wasn't that much work.
Yeah, Mel.
For me, it was just changing it. Like when I lock onto something, I'm just gonna go straight for it. But then if I like something happens where I have to change something, then it just messes up everything for me.
Yeah, so that can be hard sometimes. What kept you going for all of you guys, like with pursuing your project, even when things got in the way or maybe you had a lot of schoolwork? What kept you moving? Yeah, Mel.
Knowing that I get to make a dish.
Ah, nice. So cooking kept you going. Nice. How about others? Yeah, Mistura.
I feel like it was the amount of faith that I had in my project that I knew that this project was something that needed to be done. And it was kind of, I don't know, I put a lot of thought into it to just let it go to waste just because of this pandemic. So it was the thought of, okay, this is something that needs to be done. This is an important idea that needs to be out there. And, you worked way too hard to throw this away. I felt like that was what kept me going.
Yeah, you've worked too hard to throw this away. I think that's an important note of hope for everybody who's out there who might be feeling the same way. To read a couple of comments because you guys can't see it. We have Susan who has a message for Mel. Mel, really like your tasteful presentation. You made me hungry. Good idea about telling stories through cooking and eating. I think featuring international foods would be good. I personally love Arabic, Nigerian, Indian, Thai, and Mediterranean cooking. Ooh, lots of options for you. A couple of other comments for Cole. A couple of people said, good job. It sounds like a great project. Loads of applauses and symbols. And Ione says a speech and debate club for middle schoolers is an awesome idea. Yes. A couple of people have sent in other little notes of encouragement. Good job, Mistura. Good job, Belen. Good job, Kayla. And just that listening to others is so important to leadership. And so congratulations, all of you guys. It really was hard to be able to take these projects and lead in the first place, but to lead under these hard circumstances can be really, really difficult. Yes, and Susan has another note for Belen. Belen, I was frightened to death almost of public speaking. I would shake and my voice quivered. I wish I had someone like you to help me. Thank you. So it's just nice to know, I think, that being a leader is also in part about helping others and being there and powering through even when things get hard. So thank you for all of you guys who tuned in live. We'll be back again at 2 o'clock for 4 more. The 2 o'clock session includes our youngest of our expressive leaders and also a couple of other really interesting programs and a podcast as well. So tune in again at 2 o'clock and we'll see you later. All right. Thank you, everyone.